Folks, let me tell you, we started the month off. I kind of got him kind of fluttered the first call because we showed a picture of him on the cruise ship with his lovely daughter. And, you know, we spent time in the Bahamas with his lovely daughter. And I tell you what, this man is a real family man, down there. He was an actor. He was a bartender. He found ACN. And as you know, he does some of the training for ACN. Actually did a training for us this past a couple of weeks ago down in Dallas, Texas. Not only that, he promoted an RVP in his organization, and he's got a lot of great talent on his team. But here again, he should have that because why? He's in the trenches every single day. And one of the reasons why I admire him so much, have him come back month after every other month, because he's in the trenches. Not everybody's in the trenches. And there's a lot you can learn from somebody in the trenches all the time. And I have so much great respect for him. Without further ado, Regional Vice President Platinum, the one and only, the great one and only Dean Tarrolly.
Thomas, good morning. Hey, everybody. Good to see you guys. Yeah, that was really cool seeing, you know, who got leads this week and who's actually out there working the business. I mean, that's really the key, right? Is we've talked about so many things over the last couple of years and, you know, how important consistency is in not only in this business, I mean, in anything we do, right? It's, who is the most consistent person? It's funny because, you know, we always use these analogies to the gym, right? And I'm going to bring this back to Mr. Thomas. So it's funny because people want results, right? I think people genuinely want results. I think people genuinely, as a general rule, they're mostly not willing to be consistent for those results. That's why there's instant this and instant that. And, you know, when I talk about this topic, it's always funny because I love food, man. I'm Italian. That's the, you know, somehow it missed my dad and it landed on me. That's the dominant gene. And it's, for me, at least it is. And man, you know, you get around the holidays and all the different food. And I just tell people all the time, you guys can get a meal at 7-Eleven. I mean, you know that, so do I. It's going to be instant. It's going to feed you quickly. It's not going to be as satisfying. It ain't going to taste as good, but it happened fast. Or you can have a gourmet meal and that meal takes hours. It's like the chef is kicking your ass out of the kitchen. Get away from me. It is not ready yet. I will let you know. You know, they're shaving the garlic so perfectly. Brian Baker's ears are bleeding right now, right? Like he's like, there's patience and care with it. And you get kind of hungry along the way. But when that meal, it's like, oh my God, this was the greatest meal I've ever had. And I know that if I talk to you guys about some of the best meals you've ever had in restaurants you've gone to, right? I'm guessing that the nachos at 7-Eleven are not going to make your list. Now, it served a purpose at one point, but that's probably not going to make the top 10. So it's just funny that there's a process in there, and you have to be willing to kind of go through that process in your ACN business. And Al's done that his whole career in network marketing, right? Like I've talked to you guys a lot. Again, I've covered so much territory with you guys, like, you know, having long-term vision and short-term goals. I mean, that's very real in our business. One of the reasons that Al's built the business that he has, and he has the amount of people that follow him that he does, is we understand how important those short-term victories are. And they are important, you know, but you have to, by the way, the only time you'll ever hear me say the word balance in ACN is probably in what I'm going to talk about right now for just a minute. I don't like that word. Production comes out of being unbalanced, but when you can balance the idea and the concept of short-term goals and long-term goals or vision, you have to balance those two things, right? That those little steps are important, but the reason why most people don't get to their long-term goals is because they don't stay consistent with the short-term steps. And Al's done that for years and years and years. And, you know, you guys, I say this every time I come on. I think this call's amazing. I hope you don't take Mr. Thomas for granted. I know the other leaders don't take him for granted. It's funny because sometimes we'll be at the events and he's got so much going on and I've got so much going on, our teams and stuff. It almost feels like we spend more time together on these calls than we do at the events, but there's a mutual respect there. And Al, you know how I feel about you and times where you have had conversations with me about my business and trying to get to your position. And I'm grateful. And it's always a privilege to be on with you guys. So y'all ready? What have we covered this month so far? So the first thing we talked about is this whole idea of disruption, right? We talked about disruption. We talked about being in a disrupting state, right? ACN has talked about disrupting, impact disrupting. But when I was talking about disrupting for you guys, the idea is, thanks, Rochella. Thanks. So the idea about disrupting here is we're talking about disrupting your routine. We're talking about doing something differently this week than you did last week. Because if you don't do something differently this week than you did last week, you're going to expect the same results. And if the results aren't what you wanted, you got to disrupt it. You got to change it. You got to move it around. I mean, you've got to take a different way home, right? You've got to talk to some different people. If you go back to your list and that list is the same 4 people that you've been talking to for the last year, it'll be really challenging to have your business built. So you got to disrupt that routine, right? And the second thing I talked about last week, I talked about this idea of stacking. And it wasn't stacking customers. That is not allowed in ACN. What I was talking about is stacking your skill set, right? How skill over skill over skill over skill. So the things that seem difficult today, or the things that seemed difficult last week, today are not difficult because you're building a skill set. This is an old Jim Rohn thing. Jim Rohn said, look, you don't need less problems. You need more skills, right? You don't need less problems. You need more skills. By the way, that's not just me. That's everybody. And there you go. Ryan just texted, Regional Vice President Ryan Reese. He said, stacking is a skill set, right? When you start stacking your skills, guess what? Someone has a customer question, no problem. I know where to get the answer. Somebody has a team building question, no problem. Here's the answer. Somebody has a compensation plan question, no problem. Here's the answer. And you start getting these no problem results and these no problem responses. That means that you're stacking your skill set. And what's the result of that? Because this is what I led up to at the end of last week. I told you this month is going to be like, we're going to go a little deep. What did I say the result of that would be? The result of having a disruptive mindset to change what you're doing and your stacking skill sets is going to result in you being confident in what you're doing. And now you don't have to worry about what people think. You are so not concerned about people's opinions as to whether or not what this is, how it works, what it is it good? You're not even concerned about that. All you're concerned about is, do you see what I see? And when you get into that mindset, guess what happens? Now you've turned this into a non-emotional numbers game. And when it becomes a non-emotional numbers game, now you're getting to the heart of the business. You're not looking for ACN to be great with everyone. You're looking for people who think ACN is great, right? That's a big difference. That's a big difference. And when you get into that position and you understand the size and the scope of the opportunity that we have, especially with this launch of Impact Health Sharing, I mean, it's unbelievable. I have a call today with one of our leaders with Impact, and we're looking at doing his company for himself and 10 employees, right? Just know that those opportunities are out there. So we go from this disrupting mindset to stacking our skill set, right? Which, by the way, what does it take to stack that skill set? First of all, look, I'm not looking to drag someone to class. I mean, I'm just not looking for that. I'm looking for someone who wants to meet me at class. I'm looking for someone who wants to be there and who wants to learn. I referenced the conversation that I had with Mr. Thomas a number of years ago in Vegas because it was impactful to me. That was an important conversation in my ACN journey, not yours, mine. I have people on my team on this call. I'm grateful for them. But that conversation didn't really have anything to do with them. And it had to do with where I was at the time. So I could formulate my game plan and be more effective in what it is that I'm doing to achieve the goals that I have out of this business, which my goals in this business do not include having a job with a boss again. So I need to make sure. How about you? I mean, you guys, do you agree that most of us sign up in ACN to not end up with a job and a boss? Now, I'm not saying don't have one, because we got to get our bills paid. And I would imagine 95% of the people on this call are doing this part-time, which you should. But what happens when that day comes, that amazing day comes that Jim Rohn talks about, where your income out of ACN matches or beats your income out of your job? You're now given choices. But those choices, okay, get this. Those choices, that choice will elude the amateur. That choice given to you, where you've matched your income that gives you choices about your job, will elude the amateur. Now you go, well, Dean, I don't have time to be a professional. Not true. I've talked about this for years. Anybody and everybody can be a part-time professional in ACN. You can be a part-time professional in ACN. The problem is because people associate part-time with an amateur skill set. And I'm asking you to associate part-time with a professional skill set. And we covered those last week, so I'm not going to cover those again, but I am going to tell you this. So for this week, what's the guarantee? What's the guarantee? We should talk about it. Because when people look at ACN, they want to have like a guarantee. They want to know, like, what am I going to make? Or how is this going to benefit me? Like, I want a guarantee. So I got some guarantees for you. Here's guarantee number one. No, there are guarantees. There are guarantees. Christine said there's no guarantees. There are guarantees. Okay. Here's a guarantee. ACN will build without you. That's a guarantee. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. Here's another guarantee. You and everyone you know are going to pay the bills that we get paid on. By the way, is that ending anytime soon? That's a guarantee. So we know, in fact, I'm going to take some notes with you guys. We know that ACN is going to build with or without us. Who agrees that is a guarantee that's happening? Okay, cool. Who also agrees ACN markets services that we guarantee are not going to be paid off? Who agrees with that? How about another one? Here's another one. Who agrees? I guarantee you there's no better income to earn than residual. I personally get, look, Al, both hands go up. The guy with the biggest residual on this call, both hands go up. You better believe it. Better believe it. Now, those are guarantees, right? Those are solid guarantees. And do you guys agree? Could you guarantee someone that ACN is an opportunity that anyone can do? Is that a guarantee? I think that's a guarantee. Why? I can only put 10 hours into ACN a week. Okay, guaranteed you can do this. I can only do ACN 3 hours a week. Guaranteed you can do it. You talk about that for a second. You know why most people don't think they can do and build ACN in 3 hours a week? Because they don't do the things that are required in those 3 hours. 2.5 of those hours are talking about dreaming and oh, hey, we got 3 hours. Let's get some services signed up. I've mapped out a game plan of services that will get you your first bonus. How's that sound? Do you guys agree that if we wanted to, we could sign up 5 bills in 3 hours? 3 hours. 3 hours for sure. Take 30 minutes to map out take 30 minutes to map out what services work for the new IBO, right? Then you have 2.5 hours to sign up a few of their services and maybe mom on ID Seal and dad on a cell phone. $200 bonus, and you've gotten that person a check and you've documented them. So why don't people do that in the 3 hours that the person says that they, by the way, you guys, let's talk about this. By the way, this is an extreme example, but let's talk about it. I'm your new business partner, and I say to you, hey, David, hey, Maria, hey, Adrian, hey, BK, hey, Danny, hey, Tracy, hey, James, hey, Evelyn, hey, Freddie, hey, Al, hey, Juan Carlos. I got 3 hours this week. I got 3 hours tomorrow. That's all I got this week. Now, I don't know about next week. I may have more, but I got 3 hours for you Friday, 4 p.m. By the way, if you are a leader, are you moving your schedule to help your new excited rep? Yes or no? Better believe it. Better believe it. And now think about this. I want you guys to think about this. I'm a new excited rep. I'm giving you 3 hours. Give me a freaking break, man. We can accomplish so much in 3 hours. How about this? The first 30 minutes, you're mapping out and showing me how I'm going to make my first $200 bonus. And now I understand getting those 5 services. How about this? For 2 hours. Okay, you guys watch this. Watch how valuable time is and watch what your skill set can do. I'm giving you 3 hours. The first half an hour, you're mapping out the game plan, showing me the comp plan and how I'm going to make my first $200 bonus. From 30 minutes into the 3 hours, for 2 hours, we're signing up services. 2 hours, we're signing up those services. And in the last 30 minutes, we're setting a date to do a PBZ, and we're sending invitation texts and calls 30 minutes. And guess what you have? In 30 minutes, you have a rep that's gotten 5 services, a $200 bonus, and probably their first 2, 3, 4, 5 invitations to a private business Zoom. Are they leaving excited? Yes or no? And if you really want to have fun with it, finish in 2 hours and 57 minutes. Hey, we beat 3 hours. You gave me 3 hours. I came in under 3 hours. How about that? Congratulations. High five. You kicked ass. We are making a story for you. Why don't people do that when they've been given 3 hours with someone? Because they talk and deal and do stuff that is not about moving and advancing their person's business. Why do they not do that? Why do they not do that? They don't do that because they don't have the skill set to be able to take a new person, walk them through the online store, walk them through the suggestions of what the best services would be for them so they could have the best chance to succeed. And whose fault is that? By the way, did you guys get what I just said? Did you get what I just said? This is super important. Why doesn't the experienced rep who's launching the person get that done in that window of time? Why do they start talking about all this other stuff and the nationals and all the people and, oh my God, we're going to, why do they do that? Because they don't have the skill set to take someone from application to helping them get qualified with the services that make sense for them and getting them a result. That's the purpose of my calls with you guys this week or this month. That's the whole purpose. But here's what I do know. You guys want another guarantee? Here's what I will guarantee. If you do what I just said with that person that gave you 3 hours and you accomplished what I just said, you're going to have a new, excited IBO who's going to want to put people in front of you. how'd you get that bonus? And how'd you get a bonus and promotion in your first couple hours, Bill? I don't really understand everything that's going on, but let's get you on the phone with Mr. Thomas and he'll explain it to you. I guarantee this. Here's another guarantee I'll give you. If you follow the game plan that your leader has set out for you, there are phenomenal regional coordinators and regional directors on this call. If you follow the game plan that they lay out for you, I'll guarantee you that you're going to have success in the business. It always goes sideways when the person doesn't follow the game plan, just like sports. If you follow your assignment in the plays work. If you do not follow your assignment, the plays get blown up. Who understands this conversation? Cool. I'll give you another guarantee. This is from me personally. I will guarantee you, I haven't found anything better than ACN. And there's a lot of opportunities out there, but I haven't found any that can give you the opportunity of leverage and residual income. I haven't. Now I know that there's traditional business owners that have that leverage because they have a ton of employees, but they have mad overhead. They have mad responsibilities. They're the first one there. They're the last one to leave. I'll guarantee you, I've never found a part-time business that's more attractive than ACN, that you can do in and around your schedule, where you can custom make this to fit in and around all the things that you have in your lives. I haven't found anything better than this. By the way, how about this? Let's say you guys, whatever, stuff happens, life happens, work happens, family happens, and you can't work ACN this week. You can't do 1 minute of ACN, which is unrealistic, but let's just say that was the case. Are you fired? Do they cancel your position? Are you deactivated? Oh, funny. How about your job? Boss not showing up. I'm not calling. I'm not showing up. How about that? Guess what? Yeah, exactly. Whoever just did that, Mary Elizabeth was like, yes, right? You're done. You're done. How about this? How about if you didn't go into your job and they got you on the phone and they said, hey, you, so what's the deal? And you're just like, well, I just wasn't feeling it. I just wasn't feeling the job today. What? If you are not in here by lunch, you're written up. And if you're not here tomorrow, you're fired. All right, I'll let you know. Like that's not real. I guarantee you're in trouble. There's a guarantee. Right? There's a guarantee. That's a guarantee. Oh, hang on. I just got a question here. Can you explain when a new person wants to do not properly trained? Yeah. Okay, perfect. So let me address this really quick and I'm going to move on. So Evelyn just asked in the chat, I'll just read it. Dean, can you explain when a new person wants to do things by themselves, when they are not properly trained, their business will not go as fast as they would like. They don't know how to answer the questions that are asked. Absolutely. Here goes. Brand new person joins the team and they want to do this on their own. I'm going to tell you. And by the way, I've come up against that tons of times. And here's what I'll say to the person. I appreciate the fact you want to do this on your own, and you will do this on your own. What I'm asking of you based on my years of experience is just for the first few services, just for the first few invitations, I'm going to ask you to allow me to assist. And here's why. I've signed up these services before. I have invited and I have built a business, and I want this to go faster for you, not slower. And I want to be there to answer any questions that may come up, navigating the website or any of those things. And I promise you, we do this 1 or 2 times together. Trust me, I am cutting you loose. You do this as much as you want, as fast as you want, but I need to show you the right way, because it takes longer to fix something than it does to have me show you and do it right the first time. And that has nothing to do with your abilities. That has to do with anything that we teach. So, and by the way, listen to this, Evelyn, listen to the language. When we do it this way, new person, it's less work for you and it's more work for me. Do you like that agreement? Less work for you, more work for me. Guess what I hear 100% of the time I say that? Oh, I like that. That sounds good. Great. Let's do it. Let's do it. Is that helpful? I hope, everyone. Okay, cool. So here's a guarantee. Here's a guarantee. Everyone that ever clicks submit on their rep agreement has an opportunity to go SVP. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. Black, white, purple, pink, old, young, handsome, ugly, doesn't matter. No ugly people on this call. But I'm telling you guys, that is a fact. That is I guarantee it. I guarantee it. So here's the question before I wrap up on this whole thing with guarantees. And then I have something to show you guys. What's up, Baker? I fucking love that guy. I really do. I really do. Man, when I come out to Vegas, Baker, I'm staying for like a few days, and dude, you may not get out of the kitchen. I'm just saying. I'm just telling you. I had to have a procedure yesterday. I was not allowed to eat for over 24 hours. I'm telling you, man. Like, man, that's another topic. That's a whole other topic. All right. So here's the thing, you guys. Like, man, it's so funny. Al, one of these days we're going to do like an open call where people can just. So here's the thing. Everybody wants to win, right? Like, everybody wants to win. Do you guys agree? Okay. I think everybody loves the idea of winning. I think everybody's in love with the idea of winning. I don't think everybody wants to win. I really don't. I think everybody loves you. I love the idea of winning. How about you? I love the idea of regional coordinator, regional director. Heck yes. Regional vice president. Come on. Let's go. Hey, man, we'll see you at the briefing tonight. Oh, dude, you don't understand. Oh, this, I got my other job. I got my this, I got my that. Really? Make arrangements. Everybody loves the idea of winning. Does everybody want to win? You look, in the spirit of giving in the holiday season, I'm not being Scrooge. I just don't see it that way. I just don't. I just don't. I don't see that. Like, everybody loves the idea of winning. So I think that people that want to win have a fear. And people who are interested in winning, they don't. And it might sound, you might be like, dude, that's the opposite of what I would think. The people that really win, they have a fear. And the people that are interested in winning, they don't. And the people that want to win, the fear that they have is no matter what they do, it's not enough. They got to do more. They got to find a way to talk to one more person. They got to find a way to do one more presentation. They got to find a way to fit in one more of those trainings so they can get one more thing so they feel like that day was worth it. And those are the people who don't settle. And those are the people that get more out of a day than everyone else. And that's why there's so few of them. Does this make sense, you guys? I think these people who operate at such a high level, and we could list the names in all the different sports and all the different industries, whether it's sports, entertainment, business, whatever. I think they have a fear that they're not doing enough. And the people that are interested in winning, they feel like they've done so much. And by the way, they'll let you know too. Who knows those people? You don't understand my day. And I did this and I did that. And I went to the store and I had to grocery shop and I had to pay my bills and I had to pick up the kids and I had to do this and I had to do that. Great. Welcome to life, man. Like, we all got stuff. Why are you listing off that stuff? Then there's people who don't list off that stuff and they're trying to figure out how they can get one more thing done. And those are the people that I believe over time, because they have a disruptive mindset, they understand stacking their skill set, and they understand that there are no guarantees. If you don't see them, I'm telling you the things that I see as guarantees. But see, if you don't see the guarantees, right? If you don't see what's guaranteed out there, you're not going to treat it with the reverence that the leaders that are doing this business and building it, that they do. I told you this was going to be a little higher level today. And you got to understand that. But actually, you don't. Let me go back. Rewind. Delete. You don't have to understand it if you don't want to go to that position. Like, delete it. If you don't want to go to that next position, disregard this call and do not watch it. If you do, I'm asking you guys to give some consideration to what I'm sharing with you. So I want to show you guys, I want to show you guys something as I end the call. Mr. Thomas, are we good for a minute, sir? Okay. So this guy's awesome. He's a coach. You guys know I got a thing for coaches. I know some of you are driving. I know a lot of you don't have your cameras on, but I really hope that you can watch.
What you should know about winning before you chase it. Winning's not loyal to you. It doesn't care about you. Winning doesn't care how sore you are. Winning doesn't care how much sleep you get. Winning doesn't care how hard you work at times. Sometimes a guy doesn't outwork you and he still wins. It isn't fair, man. Sometimes there is no justice. Winning requires all of you and then more, and it promises you nothing. It's a mastermind of creating fear and doubt in your mind. It causes setback after setback. So the question is about winning. Are you willing to sprint when the distance is unknown? And why chase this thing called winning? Because the only thing that's guaranteed in life, if you don't chase it, is losing.
How freaking good I think that is. I'm going to tell you how freaking good I think that is. I think people do not understand what that guy just said. Freaking awesome. You're guaranteed nothing. And what's just bananas to me when I found this, think about this, you guys. Think about this. He said, are you willing to sprint when you don't see the finish line? You want to know ACN? I'm going to tell you right now. You're tired as hell. You've had a long day. You had all those freaking things that you list off to everybody. I did this and I did that. And at the end of the day, and you still find the energy to peak that one more person, to talk to that one more person, to make that one extra stop, to do the one extra thing, to do the training, to watch the video on ACN Compass because you told yourself you were going to do that before your head hit the pillow. And you didn't. You guys, Greg Provenzano has said this for years and years and years. He said, look, if you are easy on yourself, life is hard. If you are hard on yourself, life is easy. You understand that these are not little catchphrases to like get through a training. This is like real life stuff. Are you willing to sprint if you don't see the finish line? Most people aren't. Look, you guys think about this. Let's say you bust your ass and you have meeting after meeting after meeting after meeting, and you're doing exactly what we're talking about. You're taking what Al is saying, what I'm saying, what the other leaders, whoever else he has doing these calls, and you're applying it and you're actually doing the work, and you have no reps and no customers for the day. None. What are you going to do the next day? Oh, yesterday was really rough. I'm trying to recover. I'm trying to recover from yesterday. Really? How about the next person who's out there? You know what? Yesterday's done. I've got today. I'm going to go talk to new people. And that happens 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 days in a row. How's your attitude? Are you still sprinting even though you don't have a result or can't see the finish line? The law of large numbers will prevent you from not succeeding. You will succeed if you play in the law of large numbers and you have a consistent effort. I love that guy. You're guaranteed, look, sometimes people do less than you and they get further than you. Why? Who knows? Why are you worried about them? Why are you worried about them? Figure out your own stuff. So, Mr. Thomas, that's what was on my mind today.
Well,